Forest versus Villa.
Yes, we should, because it was an unbelievable game from one side. So I think we definitely should. We should start with the royal family's team.
Yes. Prince William was in attendance, jubilating. But yeah, what did you think of Villa's dominant win, the performance, and I mean, they're going to be favourites into the final. They've got Freiburg, but it's Unai Emery in the Europa League final when we know his record. So,
what did I think? Total dominance, brother. Total dominance. There was nothing. Villa looked prepared from minute one. Nottingham Forest obviously, honestly, looked starstruck. Like it just hit them. Oh, we're in a Europa League semi-final, and I don't know if it was because they had such a good result on the weekend against Chelsea with like their B team, and then they're trying to implement some of their B team into their A team and into their first team, and a lot of their players obviously got concussed and out of injury. Morgan Gibbs-White being the key player that missed the game for them. I don't know if, in fact, I do know that was part of the issue of why they lost, but to lose in the fashion they did lose, you'd expect more fight in a Europa League semi-final, especially for both teams. Both clubs haven't been there in God knows how many years. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
First time for Villa in 44 years. Nottingham Forest ain't been there since like the 80s, 90s. So maybe earlier than that. So it was disappointing from a Nottingham Forest perspective for me. But from Villa's perspective, John McGinn, outstanding all game. You kind of know what you're going to get from him. Always going to be the 7 out of 10 on the football pitch. You know what you're getting out of John McGinn. And today he was like a 9. He was perfect. The key moments, killed the game. 2 great finishes. First one putting it in the bottom corner, opening up his body. The second one reversing it into the near post. 2 unbelievable finishes. Great game of football from Villa's perspective. I feel like the crowd helped massively in this type of game. You know how it is when it's a semi-final. You saw Arsenal the other night with the crowd. It's the 12th man. The crowd was definitely the 12th man for Villa tonight. But I feel like for Villa, they should have probably won both legs this way because of where they are in the Premier League and the squad they have. And we've spoken about them yesterday and the team they do have. So I feel like for them, it was what they should be doing. They should have looked to win the Europa League this season, and they look like they're going to do it. And for Nottingham Forest, I think their only goal, like from the last 3 months, was just to stay in the Premier League. So I feel like they'll both will hit what they've set out to do. Missed opportunity for Nottingham Forest, but understandably, their only goal this season, after having 4 managers, was to stay in the Premier League.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, you made the point in terms of like Gibbs-White being missing. Obviously, he's their talisman and he's been in real good form. But not only him, Ole Einar was missing as well. Murillo came on, but the game was done. So that Sangare didn't play. That's 4 of their starters that they were missing. And again, like you said, in terms of them somewhat being starstruck, Villa just took it to them and Forest didn't have another gear. Like, first half, Villa dominated, but you were like, oh yeah, Forest, as long as you can stay in it. And then second half was just complete dominance from minute 46 to minute 90 in the second half. Whereas first half, like McAtee and Hutchinson, they obviously the pass and then Hutchison's chance, but like other than that, there wasn't nothing clicking for them. And I was there thinking, because obviously I was with you earlier today. I was like, oh, is Gibbs-White going to play? And you were like, they'll give him the mask. Looked at the lineup. He was on the bench in terms of like the named players. But once you saw the airings on, you knew he wasn't going to come on. And you can just tell, like, when the camera panned on him, it's like, he would have rose up to the occasion today. Not to say they would have won, of course. But him, like the form he's been in, taking that pressure on in terms of being the captain. Obviously, Yates is club captain. But yeah, I just felt like it was a shame for them to be missing their starters for this. I say their starters for a semi-final, the second leg, where again you need your best players when you're going away from home. Like you said, was like incredible in terms of the atmosphere from hearing it on the TV. And then the Villa players, they came to play after their run of 3 straight losses, 2 in the league and last week's first leg. But we know Unai Emery in this competition, he's not a joke. And like you said, they were led by their skipper.
Yes.
Again, Watkins, the head injury didn't phase him. He was brilliant as well. Rodgers, they connected well. And another thing we spoke about was in terms of yesterday's episode, was Emery's somewhat rotation. And you mentioned Lindelof. And funny enough, Lindelof started today, and
he did.
Maybe his experience of being in these moments. Obviously, he's been at United at 2 Europa League finals, so his experience probably helped being on the pitch, in terms of for the other players. And then, so going into Istanbul against Freiburg, it's not going to be an easy game, but Villa should, without a doubt, be the favourites. And this was probably their aim at the beginning of the season, to win the Europa League.
Yeah, because I don't know if they thought that the Premier League would be like this, where they could get automatically in there. We spoke again like yesterday. We said they could be in there automatically into the Champions League, but if not, you cover yourself with the Europa League. You get directly in there, and then you let it take care of itself. So I feel like it's Villa's to lose now. It's Villa's to lose.
Yeah.
If they lose, they should be very, very disappointed. One more thing on Nottingham Forest. Why the penalty? The penalty decision. Why do people still keep grabbing people in the box, bro?
It was so silly from Milinkovic, because even those ones, they're slightly soft, but it's like, bro, you're given the ref a decision to make. It is a foul in that moment. If you just stay tight on Torres, I highly doubt he would have swiveled. And even if he did, you just have to take that L. Don't give away a penalty.
And the thing is, in European competition, all of those small things get given. European competition is not the Premier League, bro. Premier League, sometimes they just let those ones go. In Europe, any small touch, you've seen the type of fouls that get given in the Champions League and Europa League, bro. He made it so obvious and clear. You were holding his shirt for like 3 seconds, and slow-mo makes it seem like you're holding his shirt for like 10. So, bro, we saw you holding his shirt. Key moments like that are what lost Nottingham Forest this game, because at that point, it's 1-0.
Yep.
It's literally 1-0 at that point. You're still in the game. You're still in the game going down 2-0, but the momentum is all with Villa at that point anyway. You give them the penalty, Buendía steps up, scores it, and then the momentum is just fully in Villa's favour. No doubt, no chance of bloody Nottingham Forest even getting back into it. They were every duel, every challenge, bro, was Villa's. There was nothing that wasn't Villa's tonight. The crowd, Villa. Every player to a man. If you were going duel for duel, man for man, Villa won their duel. Do you get what I mean? That was literally it. So, well-deserved victory for them. And as you said, they'll meet Freiburg in the final. Be a good game. You know the German teams always they can do a thing. We've seen it before where we don't feel like they're going to win that competition, but they go and win that competition. So I feel like we're counting them out right now, but you just never can count out.
Oh, 100%. No chance. No chance. Because I'm just thinking of a German team recently-ish in Europa League final, and Oli Glasner's Frankfurt when they beat Rangers. Obviously, Joe Aribo scored for Rangers in that game, but Frankfurt were the favourites in that game. So
because they're playing Rangers,
it's not as bad as a comparison. It just made me think of a German team in that situation. But again, the flip side for Frankfurt on a negative front, they're coming up against a manager. Forget the team, a manager who absolutely thrives. He's got his name etched into this competition himself. Emery deserves shares in the Europa League because
he's been winning it since it's called UEFA Cup. He's been winning it from them.
He's unmatched in that instance. So do you know what? I'm actually even going to check where Freiburg are in the table. Should have probably checked that before, but
it's all right. No, man, it's going to be a sensational final. I wanted Forest to win. You know why I wanted Forest to win? Because obviously Villa put out a team that could match up to Man.
Damn man, there.
But no, because that's real. Because we saw Villa's second team go out against Tottenham, and Tottenham dominated them. So what the hell is City about to do to them? Do you get what I mean? So that's why I was just hoping. I was really, really hoping that Forest would win the game. Forest just stay up. They're basically stayed up this weekend. Arsenal go and beat West Ham, do you a favour. Then, Villa, you just got to do us a favour. But hey, it's in everyone's own hands now, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You do the job yourself when it's in your hand and don't rely on others. Do you know what I mean? Freiburg are currently 7th in the Bundesliga, so they're in the final Europa League conference spot, ironically.
Okay, so
And
they're going to want to win it then.
because they can't get Europa League. They're literally 14 points behind. And then Frankfurt are 1 point behind them. And I believe there's 2 games left in the Bundesliga. So...
It's going to be a good final. What date is that final?
It's
before the season ends, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it's the 20th.
Right. Yeah.
20th of May. So it's the Wednesday before the final Premier League.
Oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. You know what? Villa still might put out a squad. They might need to. They actually might need to. Come on, Freiburg. No disrespect.
All right, then, man. This is the moment where when people will be like, for Arsenal, oh, shouldn't you be supporting the English team? This occasion, everyone should be supporting, unless you're Birmingham or any other Midlands club, everyone should be supporting Villa for the Europa League final. I don't care, bro. Man say, come on, bro. The plus side might be even better if Villa win it, because they might be drunk when they go to Oh, no. You don't want them drunk going to Man City. Actually.
I need them sober. I need them sober and focused.
We're gonna support the Villains tonight, because even tonight's game, I actually didn't like.
I didn't care who won. I wanted Forest.
When the team's on neutral or you're a neutral fan, sometimes you might edge towards a team, and I think maybe I was like, oh yeah, Forest. Like it'll be interesting to see them be in Champions League if their owner will splash in the summer. Especially considering where they finished the season in the league. But again, like you said, their main priority was Premier League survival, which they've nearly basically wrapped up. And like I said, the last 2 rounds, they weren't playing their strongest 11 and they were still winning. And it probably gave them momentum going into their league games, because there was a moment like when Pereira came in as manager, they were playing good ball. They were creating a lot of chances. They couldn't score in the league. They could not score, but they were scoring in Europe. And then, like you said, the blend of the second team, that played against Chelsea, that unexpectedly spanked them, they were the ones getting the results in the Europa League anyway. Like they were going through on tight games, but it gave them the momentum going into the Premier League games. And then so it's a shame. Like I think it's just more so a shame because you can see how overmatched they were compared to Villa without their starters to that, whereas Villa practically had their players. And again, a point that I made yesterday, Emery has actually kind of rotated the squad a bit more than other managers, I suppose. So Villa, it's like, it was like, we're not losing today. Like last week was just the first leg, 1-0. That's fine. As long as it's not more than 1 goal, that's fine.
Yep, and it wouldn't have mattered if it was more than 1 goal, because the way they were moving tonight, they were about trying to score 6. So, big up Aston Villa. I'm only joking when I say I want you guys to lose to Freiburg. I'll be real. You win, Arsenal got to take care of their own business. So, big up Villa.
Before we move on from that, like a player that I want to give credit to is Buendía. When he was getting subbed off, I just thought not only his performance, but the way he's been this season.
Yep.
Because remember, Buendía came back, was it last season, from a very serious injury, and
ACL,
and a lot of people did not think he was going to be the same, especially when you're at that kind of club. It's not even more so being the same. It's more so all right, maybe next season we're going to get rid of you. We'll wait for the contract to run out. You're not going to be a starter in the team anymore. And credit to him and Emery, because Emery just slowly but surely brought him back into the team. Early on, he's not always a starter. He's just a bit of a bench player, getting minutes here and there. So I'm there thinking, all right, maybe it's those ones that it'll be eventually end of the road. We've seen like the last couple months, he's fully a star in that Villa team again. And his performance tonight was arguably the man of the match performance, as well as McGinn, like to kickstart how they played in terms of his brilliant play for Watkins' goal. And I just thought, like, in that moment when he got subbed off, I was like, bro, credit to him, man, because coming back and then playing back at a super high level, it's not always easy. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done because we've seen many do it, but it's not always easy in that sense. So yeah.
100%. I have to agree with you on the Buendía shout because I thought after that injury, even just before the injury, I felt that they were trying to move on from him anyway with the signings they were making. Obviously, he plays the same role as Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers can play on the wing and off of the wing, but I feel like Buendía is a natural 10. Do you get what I mean? So I felt like they were trying to bring in players to kind of, when they're preparing for the future already, like, okay, cool, Buendia's out. So we need someone that's going to be the guy to take over because we bought him to be this person. But we don't think he's going to come back and be that guy. So you're right in saying that. And the way he's worked himself back into the team and now he's a key member of Villa's teams. And like, if he's not playing, you can see the miss. You saw on the weekend against Tottenham, he came on and scored the goal. I know it was a consolation. It didn't mean much, but you can see the difference with him not in the team and with him in the team. And it's just credit. It's credit to him coming back from the injury. Credit to Emery, as you just said, for just trusting and believing in the players that he signed and just, going ahead with. I don't think Emery signed him, but having the player like him there and just going ahead with it, really. So, yeah, credit to Buendía. And without that injury, he may have gone again. You get what I mean? I'm talking about may have moved on again from Villa again because from Norwich days to the Villa days, I don't know what he was sensational, but I don't know where he would have.
Even last season, they sent him out on loan to Leverkusen, like second half of the season. So it's just like you then think, oh, okay, but where?
Yeah, they understood this year they needed him, and he's proved that they do need him, and he's very key for them. So long may it continue for him. And yeah, I like players that come back from injuries and they're technical football players and they do other sides of the game as well. So yeah, Buendia's worked himself he's worked himself back in well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I was looking, his contract starting next year. He's probably going to earn himself a new contract this summer.
Oh, 100%. So, 100%. If not, he's earned himself a transfer.
Yeah, give him another 2-3 year deal. He's 29 at the moment, bro. You definitely can give him a 3-year deal. Especially
you can give him a 5 if you want to, if you're being nice.
No, facts. I mean, I'd say that's super generous, but maybe we'll meet in the middle and go with 4.
Yeah, that sounds more like it.
We'll meet in the middle and go with 4. Commiserations, Nottingham Forest. To be fair to them, great season. They probably, to be at the beginning of the season, they probably felt that they were one of the teams that should win this competition as well, given how they were last season. But
manager
with
changes.
the amount of wasn't like you said, Pereira 4th manager of the season. And
too much dysfunction, bro.
Yeah, the way they struggled in the league itself, it's just like, boy, all the Freiburg highlights are on. But yeah, it was in a way it will end up being I'm trying to rate their season, whether it's okay or good. Obviously, once they finalize Premier League survival.
Coming into the season, it's disappointing for Villa. No, not for Villa, for Nottingham Forest. Coming into the season, it's a very disappointing season because where you finished last year, you're expecting to improve and go again. And I feel like they made signings in the summer, but then they lost the manager that was key and everyone loved. So you kind of were in rebuild from the start of the season, just with the management side of things. And then you hire like a Sean Dyche, for instance. Well, you hired you hired Ange.
Yeah.
Hired Ange, who you thought was right for them to sack at a point when they sacked him. I didn't feel like it was right for them to sack him because I knew this Nottingham Forest squad weren't going to be doing much with any other manager. Do you get what I mean? And they haven't really done much with any other manager until now. And they had to hire a man that was going to that basically got Wolves relegated. So it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah, Ange's run was horrendous. I can't lie.
It was, but bro, you gotta give people time because then they gave. But then
I am one to give managers time. I just felt like, boy, like it was their first half of the season was just shambolic. Like going into how the season started from when Nuno and the owner were beefing in the summer after probably their best Premier League season in God knows how long. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
they're actually their best. Just Premier League season is their best one.
Premier League, yeah.